Hey everyone, it's really bright in here and I'm just editing this video, and so this is something that was really hard for me to post and talk about, and I know it's not necessarily like a big deal to a lot of people, but I just kind of felt like it was time for me to just finally like do it. So yeah, hope you enjoy and thanks for watching. Hey everyone, so you saw the intro, so you really know what this is about as well as the title. And I kind of missed when I used to do like cosplay and just makeup and stuff like that, and I would just really play around and everything, and it wasn't really a big deal, but I just kind of wanted to do that again. So when I first started, I had really no idea what I necessarily wanted to do in this makeup look, and I just kind of just started putting on foundation and just kind of went from there. So I didn't initially have the idea to do like this half rainbow, half black and white face that I ended up doing, but it kind of I was in my own head, and I was like thinking that there was just something that I really needed to talk about, and I was honestly scared to post it or even just admit it, I suppose. But so some of my close friends and family know, a lot of them don't, but I am actually bisexual. I am not straight. I do not just like guys. I like guys and girls, in case you don't know what that meant. And growing up, I lived in the South and also like in church and everything. So, and was constantly by religious people and by people that were like, if you're not straight, you're gonna go to hell. If you lay with another man, if you lay with another woman, you're gonna go to hell. All of this stuff. And what what made it really hard for me is growing up and everything. I did believe in God, and I did believe in religion and all of that. And so in the back of my mind, like when I first started coming to realize how I felt, in the back of my head, I would put myself down and be like, this isn't really how you feel. You don't, you just think this is how you feel. You just like guys. So from that point on, I just kind of put it out of my mind and just dated only men, and not like not like in the sense of I dated all these guys and it was awful, so I'm gonna be like strictly gay or something now, and that's not it. And I think that is a big misconception that some people get, but I have felt this way since I could remember. And I remember when I was about 14 years old, I had a journal I used to write in. And it might have been a little younger than that, in all honesty. Like, honestly, from like age 12 to 14, it all just kind of blends together. I can't really remember much from that time. It makes me feel old that I'm only 25. But anyway, so all of that kind of runs together. And I remember writing it in my journal and um, saying like about being bisexual and not necessarily knowing what it meant at that time. But so I just kind of wrote it down and forgot about it essentially, and just kind of kept it on a back burner in my mind and never really like talked to anyone about it. And I did to a few friends that I trusted then, but it wasn't necessarily like something that I was announcing because it just wasn't a thing. And especially in like small towns, like you grow up and you know all these people and everyone knows everyone's business, and I didn't want them knowing mine. So I just continued to kind of just keep it in my mind on that back burner for a really long time, from that time until now. And like I said, I'm 25, so it's been about 10 or so years, and it just kind of literally ate me up. And I've been open about me having mental illness and having depression and anxiety really bad, and it doesn't bother me to admit that anymore because I've learned so much to like cope with that, and and I've had therapy and stuff. But I never admitted the fact that I was bisexual to many people or out loud like this, and it was just something that I really struggled with. So when I decided to do this, I didn't necessarily have a plan. And you can see that I had started with that one red line beside my eye, and then I decided to change my mind and go back and start by my ear. And I am not a color person. A lot of my clothes are not colorful. Most of them are black and gray and white and just kind of like neutral colors like that. So I decided just to do this and just go from there. So I don't really have like face cream kind of makeup or like Halloween makeup or whatever you want to call it, face paint. So I just kind of used eyeshadow and just kind of went through and did the rainbow. And when I met that red line, I started over. So that was just more or less what that was. And it is kind of messy looking right there. And that's where, like the blending comes in and everything. So yeah, again, going back to my sexual orientation or whatever you would want to call it. So like I said, I had it in the back of my mind and eating away at me because it's who you are. And I do believe you are born that way, and some people disagree. Some people believe it's a choice, and it ends up making people cut you off because they believe it's a choice and not a born this way kind of thing. And that's understandable. Everyone has something that they believe, and everything is justifiable in everyone's head. And everyone believes that their own opinion and their own reality is real. So they disagree with people and they think that they're wrong when that's not the case. Everyone is right in their own reality. But anyway, so I let it get me down a couple of years back because I wasn't admitting it, and I wasn't being who I am and who I need to be and want to be. And so I let it get me down so bad to the point to where I was already doing reckless things and not really being that smart with stuff, and I put myself in several situations to where I shouldn't have been in. I was drinking a lot. To be honest, I was also smoking a lot, and I don't I don't really want anyone's opinion about that. So but I got so down to where I could not see a way out. And I wasn't being myself so much that I was miserable. I was in pain every day and just hated my life. And I hated me. I hated everything about me. And I hated me because I was like, okay, well, I couldn't be me. I couldn't be myself. But I was like, if I'm myself, I'm going to lose all of these people. I'm going to lose my family. I'm going to lose, especially the ones that are super religious and believe I'm going to go straight to hell because of how I am. But all of that was in my head, and I was just so overwhelmed that I actually attempted to kill myself. And I know that that is not what people want to hear. And to admit it is very hard, and and I'm actually choking up right now. I apologize. But after that, and that was probably 3 years ago, and I just lost it, and I'd lost myself even more so, whether it was in relationships, whether it was just as a person. And so after that, I just really realized I need to be me, and I need to be who I truly am, and whether people like it or not, I just have to not give a damn anymore, because if I do, I cannot get that low again. I shouldn't have to feel that low because of who I love. And so I decided to just do this now, and like I said, that was a couple years ago, and I've been thinking a lot about doing this. And it's still very scary for me and nerve-wracking for me to do, but once I do, and once I post it, and once everyone knows, it's almost like a weight is lifted off of me. Like if you ever had asthma, or if you ever like just started coughing so much, or you just felt like you had someone sitting on your chest, that is how I have felt my entire life, and not admitting it. And it's like I can breathe again. And it's like there's nothing there. There's no weight on my shoulders. There's nothing setting on my chest. There's nothing stopping me from breathing and being like the Hannah I'm supposed to be. And that brings me so much peace. I cannot even explain it. And if you don't agree with my life, if you don't agree with who I want to love and who I am, then you know what to do. You don't have to talk to me. You can cut me off. I don't mind. Do what you have to do to make your life less miserable. But I don't want that negativity in my life. And I know that there are a lot of people who are going to be very conflicted on whether they should continue to talk to me or not, especially some family members that are super religious. And I'm not taking anything away from that. In all honesty, I do still believe in God or a higher power, and I am a spiritual person. I am not a religious person. I do believe there is a big difference. I do not believe in religion. I believe that it's definitely man-made, but that is another story for another day. So I understand that a lot of people are going to be conflicted because they love me and they want me in their life. But the thing is, I am not asking you to open your arms and give me a giant hug and tell me it'll all be all right and that you still love me. I'm not asking for that, because regardless, I'm still going to be me and finally be me in who I am. And if you don't love me anymore because of that, or if you don't accept me because of that, then I will no longer be in your life and you will not be in mine. Because like I previously said, you might not mean to be negative about it, but that will bring negativity in my life. And I don't want that, and I don't have to have that. So this is where I actually started doing the other side. And the idea was to do like a black and white face, half a face kind of look. So I'm attempting to, do eyeshadow and blend it in and everything, but it was just a mess. If you've ever worked with like black eyeshadow, it's just a mess, whether you actually wear it as eyeshadow or you just do whatever with it. So the idea behind the fact of like half a rainbow and half black and white is because, like I said, I kept this hidden for so long, and here and there I would tell people and I'd get a little bit of sense of relief, but I almost felt like I was in the dark, and for that 10 years plus, and just always like hiding who I was, hiding behind everything and not just admitting it. And it just became so much, and I ended up like essentially drowning in my own fear, and it just brought me to a really, really, really dark place. Like obviously, like, because what I admitted earlier about what I tried to do, and that's not something that I want. But anyway, I finished this off with eyeliner on both sides. I did do like a winged eyeliner, and I did put eyeliner on the bottom as well, and then I went back through and put some mascara on, and I noticed like halfway through this like little wing that my head wasn't really in the shot, and it was just really hard to do this and record, because I was trying to get somewhere where the lighting wasn't so bright and bad in the video, because I used my webcam. But so I kept moving and everything and making weird faces, obviously. And often I have like the eyeshadow palette in front of the webcam, and it's not the best video, but still, I just wanted to share it. I really appreciate everyone that watched this, as it was incredibly hard for me to talk about and post to the internet for the entire world to see, but I do appreciate it. And here are some pictures of the final look.